Hey guys, Edgar here, Guns for Everyone. Just got off the phone with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office. Had some conversations with Boulder County over the weekend. This all started last Thursday. It's weird, but both of the people that had issues with these counties reached out to me last Thursday. And they said, hey, we did your competition, and here's the issues. Boulder was requiring some extra paperwork, and I immediately sent an email. And the Arapahoe County guy, he says, hey, they're requiring two. And I said, well, let me figure this shit out. And went to the law, and I asked Arapahoe County, what's your reasoning? What's up? Same thing with Boulder. What's your reasoning? Everything with Boulder got figured out. They no longer required that extra documentation because they found it on our website. So that was easy solution. They found it on the website, even though we gave documentation for them to present physically. They wanted extra stuff, but it was already on the website, which we do no matter what, because it's a competition and people like to see their name on stuff. So we did that anyways. That extra documentation is still technically against the law. It's this section right here: evidence of experience with a firearm through participation in organized shooting competitions. And so that's it. There's nothing else. Like if you notice everywhere else, it tells you need to submit a certificate and time frame and all that. So it's very specific. This is a completely separate subsection, within this section. And so participation in organized shooting competitions. And that's it. So we give evidence of people doing that stuff when they show up to our competitions. Arapahoe counties, they're like, well, if you read the law, it says it's plural. And I was like, fuck, maybe, I guess we're wrong on this one. Because I respect that logic. I'm not even mad at that logic. And then when I had the conversation with them today, I asked Arapahoe County, hey, do you guys require multiple pistol qualifications for proof of honorable discharge from a branch of the United States Armed Forces that reflects pistol qualifications? And at first she said, well, we require a qualification. She said a qualification, not multiple qualifications, not two or more, a qualifications. So there was an inconsistency there. And I was like, well, what about retired law enforcement agencies? Do you have them submit two or more? And initially she said, well, no, just a qualification. They just need to submit a qualification. Towards the end, she figured out that I pulled a gotcha, because I'm very, very sneaky. She's a nice lady, nothing malicious. She's just doing what she's told to do. I can't be mad at her because she's literally doing what the department's telling her to do. I may not agree with that. I agree with that stance, but I get where she's coming from a human perspective. So that's what we're fighting right now with Arapahoe County. Again, Boulder County is already figured out. We nothing to do there. There is minor issues with stuff, but nothing that our students are being denied for right now, and that's their lack of understanding of the word firearm. Now they both said, well, it's implied because it's a concealed handgun permit. And I was like, well, yeah, but my competition's called a concealed carry cup, and for some reason you want it to be very specific that it was a pistol, but concealed carry cup implies that it's fucking concealed carry. So the same logic should apply here, but it's not. Oftentimes with government, unfortunately, it goes one way, but it doesn't go the other way. So firearm is not handgun. This is a completely different section. I understand, but the law says experience with a firearm. See, very different than reflects pistol qualification, concealed handgun training. So they're very specific on how they do all of this stuff. So that's kind of where we're at. Again, Boulder was taken care of. Arapahoe, we're still working on that stuff. She says she's going to look at some stuff. I would not be surprised in any way, shape, or form if they show that people gave one sheet that had different qualifications on there, and they're going to try and say, well, that's multiple. Well, that's like if I on one sheet had all of the guns that the person shot that one day, and then that's multiple. They probably would not accept that. So I don't think they're going to concede very easily. These are small fights, but it's fights that we take on and fights that we continue doing. Because again, if she would have told me competitions, because it's plural, and then nowhere else did it have plural except that, then I'd have been like, fuck, I need to take this L. Very rare that I take an L, but I got to take it because I respect that shit. But then when we had the conversation and she was not requiring, and initially wasn't requiring multiple for qualifications and qualifications, then I knew we had something here. Now it's worth fighting for. Now it's worth digging into a little bit more. I still don't like that they're requiring we do pistol competitions primarily. Our our gun makers match does have rifles and stuff like that, but a great majority of them are well, maybe on the gun makers match, but people sign up for different categories, and it's pistol and stuff like that. But the Concealed Carry Cup is a handgun competition. It's not a rifle competition because it's the Concealed Carry Cup. It's for pistols. So we have no like fight with them for now. But if there's anybody who wants to kind of do another competition, like the all gas no brakes, that's a fun competition where humans do a lot of cool shit that's not self-defense, but it's really fun stuff. It's all games. Even our competition isn't 100% self-defense. It has ish stuff in it, but they do a lot of rifle stuff. I would argue they do it monthly. It's an organized competition. All of that stuff. I would argue that is qualifying under this section. But if you do a rifle competition at the all gas no brakes, they're probably not going to accept it, even though it says firearm, not pistol. That's something to fight for. I know a lot of you guys are like, well, it's not worth the time and all that shit. I wish the people that you guys sent money to on a regular basis every month, the other organizations, would fight these small stuff, because if we fight the small stuff, we can win in the big stuff, because we start chipping away on that shit. I don't like this mentality of like, well, we'll just wait till next year until they introduce 15 fucking anti-gun laws, and then we won't stop any of them, and then we will threaten people to dethrone them of their throne, and then it doesn't work, and it's just this vicious cycle of, oh well, we'll just threaten them that we're going to fire them, and then, oh, well, just next year, we'll really fight next year. But this is stuff that's happening every single day. This is 365. We fight this shit every single day. My wife was getting surgery when I got the emails about this stuff. Right before she went in, my wife and I were already trying to figure out how the fuck we're going to fight this shit. She's about to go into surgery. Like, this shit right here happens every fucking day. Fighting the sheriff happens every day. We've reached out to these organizations before, and not a single one wants to fight it. And I get it to a certain degree. It's not worth there's not enough bang in the buck. I can't fearmonger enough with this stuff to get you guys to donate. Go look at my bank account. So I get it why the other organizations wouldn't want to do it, because there's no money in this stuff. It takes a lot of fucking money and energy for people to fight this stuff. I just had this conversation. It was about 30 minutes. I'm making this video about the stuff. It takes time, it takes energy, but for me, it's worth it. Hopefully for you guys, it's worth it as well. At some point, I'm running out of juice, definitely out of money. I'm in the negative with money. I can't keep fighting for you guys. One, if you don't donate, can't do it at all. Two, if you don't do it for yourself. You need to learn how to start doing this shit for yourself, and maybe we'll do classes on how to do this shit for yourself. But you're not donating enough, and so you need to learn how to do it yourself. This shit's important. It's important for our future. It's important for freedom's future. And here's the thing: even if you don't want to donate, you should still learn how to do this yourself. Like you should learn how to do all this stuff yourself so you can advocate for yourself. If we had 2 million people advocating for themselves, it'd be a lot tougher for them to take our rights away. But at any rate, really impromptu, no major setup for the laws, but that's what's going on with Arapahoe County. Again, Boulder situation was already fixed. It's already taken care of. And I do have to mention, as much as I dislike government and as much as I dislike all of that shit, this whole idea of having to ask for permission, from a human level, from a human perspective, I appreciate the time that Megan and Sharma works in Arapahoe County. She's the lady there. And Megan, she works in Boulder County. These people got hired to do a job, and I get it. I don't agree with the government stuff, and this is not me sucking on that fucking teat. But it is, these humans are probably trying to do the best that they can, and are not used to instructors calling them up and being like, what's up? Because most of the instructors that you guys go to, if you were to go to Concealed Carry Coalition, if you go to ASDI, or if you go to any of these places, they're not, when you send them an email, they're just going to be like, oh, well, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. We'll fight for you. We will actually put on the fight. We will fucking do the stuff, and we will do the things for you guys. You should do it yourself, but we will, because freedom is important. Our rights are important. So they're probably not used to humans calling them up, emailing them up, and questioning the little authority that they have. And here's why we can fight them on that, and that's because 1812-201. We've made videos about this shit over and over and over again. The General Assembly does not delegate to the sheriffs the authority to regulate or restrict the issuance of permits provided for in this Part 2 beyond the provisions of this Part 2. Any action or rule that encumbers the permit process by placing burdens on the applicant beyond those sworn statements and the specified documents detailed in this Part 2, blah, 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 is prohibited. So Sheriff's Office cannot add more to what's already there. It's the other annoyance is that they try, and Jeffco wants to do one thing, Adams wants to do another thing, Boulder wants to do another thing, La Plata wants to do something else, Boulder wants to do something else. Like, these people don't fucking get their act together and just agree. That's one of the things that I won't say which one because I don't want to get her in trouble. But one, I guess it's only two. That's fucked up. But one thing we did agree on, because we didn't agree on our interpretations of the law, which is fine. We'll let the attorneys deal with it later if we need to. But this idea that there's a Sheriff's Office Association that doesn't do a fucking thing, that's one thing we did agree on, is they're the ones, if there's going to be a Sheriff's Office association, organization, CSOC is here in the state of Colorado, they should get together, plan shit out, and like, these are the rules, the guidelines. Even if they're wrong, at least we fight one source instead of us negative balances in the bank account, get the email from the student or the participant or whoever, and then we have to fight 64 different fucking counties with no money, with no help, with no support. It's that one we did agree on, is that there should be one source, and then everybody kind of just follows that one source. It's tough because now that complicates it, because it's centralized, and then there could maybe be more abuse there. It's very complex, but it's one of these things that we do, and we're doing it right now. We are fucking doing it right now. I posted last week about this shit, and then some of you guys asked, who the fuck is it? What the fuck is going on? And here we are. This is a quick little update. There's no resolution yet, but we are working towards getting a resolution before we have to get the attorneys involved. So that's where we're at.